Hey there, everybody. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. I'm trying not to sneeze. I was just having a sneeze attack right before I pushed go live. And then I'm going, oh my gosh, I think I might start sneezing again. That's the way it always is, right? Like, you push the live button and then, of course, all this stuff starts happening. So, hey, afternoon, Rocky. Well, it's almost afternoon, right? It's like 11 o'clock where I'm at. So it's happy lunchtime, I guess you could say. Or happy iced coffee time, because I didn't even finish my first cup of coffee. It got cold, and then it was just too much cream in it. And I'm so picky about my coffee. So then I just went and made my own. So it's Sunday, and I don't really have a necessary topic of the day, so I just titled this, Sunday Thoughts, Iced Coffee Sunday Thoughts, because I'm drinking iced coffee. I'm going to forewarn anybody, this is probably going to be very random, all over the place, conscious coffee, just because I have a whole bunch of stuff going on in my head, actually, everywhere from, I can tell you, I woke up in a great mood, saw Jimmy Buffett last night for the first time, lived in Texas, maybe 10-15 minutes away from where Jimmy Buffett plays every single year. So Jimmy Buffett comes to Frisco, Texas every year and plays in the summer, and I have always lived within 10-15 minutes from where he plays at, and we're going on like 11 years I think I've been here now, and I've never made it to Jimmy Buffett, which is silly because I do actually really love Jimmy Buffett. I love the music and everything. I mean, who doesn't like Margaritaville, right? No, it's just like really just I love his music, just easy, islandy, it's such great summertime, easy flow music. And last night, spur of the moment, just decided to go. So it was just like very boom, boom, yeah, let's go to Jimmy Buffett. So off we went, and he was down in Dallas, which about 45 minutes to an hour away from where I'm at, and went and just chilled and enjoyed, and it was awesome. So woke up this morning, and yesterday I definitely had some different things come up, and that's probably going to come into play here. But I think the biggest thing that I can say, it's really just more of a talk around selfishness versus self-centeredness, I would say, because a lot of the stuff that I see coming up right now, just in general, that's kind of being presented to me, is about what we would call selfishness, because we think of selfishness as being something that's negative, right? Oh, you're being selfish, that's not good. You're being selfish with your time, you're being selfish with your money, you're being selfish with physical objects, with all these different things. That's a selfish way of thinking, that's a selfish way of being. But I can tell you that selfishness is not necessarily bad. To be selfish means to take into account the self, okay? The self first. And a lot of the teaching that I do and the coaching that I do is to bring selfishness into play, to actually try to get people to be a little bit more selfish. And that's why you hear me say, who's the most important person in the room? I tell my clients that all the time. I'm like, you're forgetting about the most important person in the room, yourself. You first. You need to be a fuck yes to yourself. You need to be a fuck yes to the things that you are doing. And if you're not, then you are just a no. But that makes it a yes to self. So always remain a yes to yourself. That's a very selfish thing to do. Just like to say, in those moments, what makes it selfish is like somebody could come to you and, they could say, I'll just use an instance like last night. My daughter, she asked me to watch their little ones. Well, she didn't ask me, she asked her sister to watch their little ones. And then it ended up happening where the kids were all at my house. Now, I ended up going to Jimmy Buffett. If had I stayed home, I would have been, because of my mood yesterday, I would have had to be selfish and say, yeah, I'm really not, I just need a down day of just no little kids, none of that, just I just need peace, I just need ease, I just need calmness for my well-being, and to be the best me that I can be, I need to have just a little bit of separation from lots of little kid stuff. that would have been really, a lot of times, even myself, I'd have a tough time because I'm like, I want to be helpful. I want to help my kids. I want to be helpful. I don't want to, like, I know that it's needed. So to say, actually, no, this is what I need. I can't do that. And to potentially put somebody into a tough situation of trying to figure it out or having to do something other than ask self for it. Guess what? That's very, very difficult to do. But when we are selfish in that way, and we say, hey, no, I really can't do this. This is what I need. I'm just exhausted. I really just don't have the mind space for it. I don't have the financial ability for it. I don't have the time for it. I don't have the energy for it. I'm just like, I'm overwhelmed. I can't do this. I can't do that. When we say those things, what we're doing is we are basically just like if we were on an airplane and the air mask dropped down, and we take the air mask, we don't put it on the people next to us, even if it's a small child. Don't put it on the small child first. We put it on ourselves first to make sure that we have the air so that we can be of more assistance to everybody else around us. And that's the exact same thing. It is a very selfish thing. And I'm telling you, like the airplane thing is a great example of selfishness because you're being very, very selfish. No, my air mask. I'm going to make sure that I stay alive, that I stay awake, so that I can assist in this moment. So we put it on ourselves first. We give ourselves that breathing space first before we give everybody else that breathing space. A lot of the times what ends up happening is we give, and we're giving to all these different people and all these different outsourcing things that we're doing. And what happens for us? We're exhausted, we're overwhelmed, we're anxiety ridden. There's nothing left of us to give. And that's not going to benefit anybody, especially self, but we're not even benefiting anybody else because we're now just giving little drops of ourselves, and it's a weakened state of self. So we're not at our best level. So to be selfish is a very good thing. But to be self-centered is a different thing. Self-centeredness is really making it, it's like where you will manipulate things to get things to work in your favor, where you will try to control things to make it work in your favor, where you will take out any possibility. It's like you would kind of step out of any moral context around it, or your values, or how do we make it a win-win-win situation? There's no win-win-win, there's just win. Okay? And that is a completely different state of thinking and being than being selfish, to be self-centered. So when we're looking at things like that, if you're looking at it, well, there can be a win-win-win or a win-win scenario, or sometimes just the reality of like, here's my authentic self. I really cannot do this. I don't have it to give. Being authentic and truthful is good. To look at a situation and try to figure out how you can basically fuck somebody else over just so that you can go, like that is self-centered. And that's not good. That's a negative energy. So this all kind of comes up because, once again, I'm sitting here, and this morning I wake up and I have this like muscle that's pulled right in here. So I'm sitting on my bed with this great big like neck massager thing up here, and I'm like that when my oldest daughter comes in and she says, "Hey Mom, I called CPS." And I was like, okay, what happened? And I guess she had to make a CPS report. As some of you might know, some family members of mine are going through some just nasty battle with an ex and everything, and there's 3 little boys, at stake and everything, and there's like sexual trauma and just abuse happening, and CPS isn't doing anything about it, and the judge is just kind of ignoring, and the police are ignoring. It's just one of these stories that you go, how the heck can everybody be ignoring all of this, and there be so much evidence to show what is going on, and how can this evidence just consistently be disregarded like this? So here we are. I woke up to her telling me another horror story about what a mother is doing to these children's mom, what she's doing to the little boys' genitals and stuff. And I was just like, oh. And, it is just this, it's very disheartening and sad, and pisses me off as a human being, but as a mother, I have no comprehension of what is going through this woman's head. But I don't know how somebody, unless they are completely self-centered, can do some of the things that I have witnessed happening to these little boys over the course of the last 7-8 months. And I just go, this is ridiculous. It's some of the most manipulative, low, nasty, just So, if I have any newscasters that watch me, that follow me, please help me out here. There's my little, if anybody knows any newscasters, I'm like, this story really just needs to be blown up and put out there, and I don't know exactly how to go about it, because I'm like, if this is happening to these 3 little boys, how many other children are at stake as well? And we hear these stories about children getting abused and about bad things happening and about parents doing things, and we go, how can that happen? How can that happen? But it's very, very easy to turn our backs on situations that are not affecting us personally, and that is just human nature, right? Oh, that's none of my business, it's happening over there. But it can become our business very easily, because the stuff is so prevalent in our society. And I can tell you that if you're a parent, it should be kind of in your scope. And I tend to look at things in that parenting way. I go, if this was my children, what would I want help with? Would I want to be ignored? Would I want, or would I want somebody to actually be there, stand up for me, help support me? And I think that the majority of parents would want people to support and stand up, yet the majority of people will not support and stand up for small children like that, because guess what? The children don't have a voice, right? They don't. They're children. So it's like they get disregarded. They're just little children. They're 2, they're 4, they're 5. That what their words say, what's going on with them, doesn't really matter. And it should matter. It should matter. But just looking at that, I was just going, this is such a self-centered thing that is going on with this mother and how she is acting and everything. And then looking out, I was talking to a couple clients yesterday and hearing some of the stories from them. And as we're working through their stuff, some of the stuff that was coming up again was around what they were perceiving as, oh, my spouse is being selfish. I'm like, no, that's self-centered. Like to act in some of these ways, and especially in relationship, because everything is relationship, right? Everything's relationship. But what we tend to do is we tend to try to manipulate and control the relationship to the best of our ability for our best. And that happens so often. I see that in early relationship stuff. In that new relationship energy, I hear a lot from guys especially. I hear this, oh, she was so adventurous, she was so fun, we had so much sex on the for the first 3, 4, 5, 6, 18 months, and then once we moved in together, once we got really once we really locked it in, all of a sudden it just kind of started to dwindle. It went to once a week, and now it's like, once a quarter. It's now, ABC sex, anniversary, birthday, and Christmas sex, right? And here's the thing, I'm always telling people, I'm like, that's, here's our sales pitch, right? We do these things to sell ourselves, to make ourselves the best catch in a relationship. Guys do it too in different ways. They're, total gentlemen on the front side, completely just taking care of everything and just like swooning the woman. And she's just like, oh my gosh, she's just so amazing. And you get a couple years down the road, and what ends up happening is we kind of take those relationships for granted, and we don't even realize that on that front side what we were doing is like we were really putting our best foot forward always. Well, when we're always putting our best foot forward and we don't let the other person, even in the early days, kind of witness us for who we are, the more natural version of us, not always having everything perfect and being this perfect person, we are in an essence being very self-centered, because we are now working it to make it appear as though this is how we are, when in fact we're human. And we have our shit, and we have our bad days, and we have our moods, and crap happens and everything. And it's very, very interesting. It is. It's just interesting to witness all these different, and I know I myself have been guilty of it plenty of times, still get guilty of it because it's just kind of natural human tendencies to always do those kinds of things. But I can tell you throughout all of this, at the end of this, what am I focusing in on? I'm focusing in on presence, focusing in on consciousness, focusing in on, asking yourself, why am I doing this? Is this coming from a place of love or a place of ego? Ego being, am I doing this just to get something from it? Am I acting like this to get something from it? Am I acting like this to make sure that, I don't lose the relationship? I don't feel threatened in any way. They think the best of me. I appear this way, blah, blah, blah. Or are you standing up in love, in authenticity in those moments? If you can just get to that state of being, of consistently kind of just running an undercurrent of inquiry with yourself throughout the day, here and there, especially when something like really stands out to you and you're going into it and you say, well, why? Like you have this feeling of, why am I acting like this? Or why am I doing this, right? In those moments, those are those pivotal points where you can really lean in and do that inquiry and bring some light into what you are thinking, what you are feeling, and why you are doing it. Those are little doorway entries into your subconscious world as to why you are acting, speaking, believing in relationship the way you are. So I do encourage you to kind of look at those and ask yourself, throughout today, am I being selfish? Which is, as we kind of have learned here, selfishness is not necessarily bad. It's not as evil as we think it can be. But when it turns into self-centeredness, it's a completely different story. There's also the selflessness, right? And I didn't even really touch on that. I touched on it just a hair, but I didn't use the word selflessness. And we get told, well, you need it to be selfless is good, right? To be selfless is good. Well, to be selfless is that space that I was talking about, like when you are constantly just give, and there's no more left to give. So basically, you lay down everything that you have, you exhaust yourself in all these different ways. That is being selfless. And it is taught to us that this is how we should be, that this is positive, that this is good, this is the way, that is a state of love, unconditional love and everything. Well, it's very dishonoring to be completely selfless all the time. There's moments to be selfless, to share, but sharing is to share without the idea of getting back anything. It's just, hey, I'm just sharing this with you. Don't necessarily need anything in return. It's not going to, it's just a share. It's here, I'm putting it out there. And selflessness can be just a share, but when we really step into being selfless consistently, so that turns us into basically like being doormats, you could say, the whole statement of you're just being a doormat, you're just bending over and letting everybody do what they want with you type thing. That's not going to get you anywhere. It's not going to ever bring you respect. It's not going to ever make you feel good. It's never going to bring you a bunch of joy. It's never going to bring you a bunch of abundance. It's definitely not setting anybody up for a healthy relationship. It says walk all over me. There's no boundaries. There's no respect. It's just very, very negative. And there's a lot of people that have this selflessness complex where they believe that that's the way they should be. I see that in relationships all the time. I see that in work environments all the time with different people of just this like, oh, well, I can't do anything about that. I can't say no. Yes, you can. And no is saying yes to what probably actually needs to happen, which is to be right with yourself in this moment. Because if you're always a no to self and you're always a yes to, yes, I'll do that. Sure, yes, yes, yes. Well, that's where you get to these points of complete and total fatigue in whatever area you are being completely selfless in. So yeah, look at that. Are you guilty of being too selfless? Are you being a doormat? Check your energy. Check your the exchange that you're getting on stuff in that moment, because if you're just give, and you consistently say no back to receiving, and then you go, well, I don't have any abundance in my life, I don't have this, I don't have that, well, you're the one who's going no, and then you're just outpouring over here. At some point, there's not going to be anything left to give, and there's going to be some sort of breaking that happens. So ask yourself, if you're feeling like a doormat, you probably are a doormat, okay? Just saying. And the best way to step away from being a doormat is to activate the word no into your vocabulary and into your life experience, and start giving that, like take on a 3-day challenge of answering everything with no. Just start saying, no, I won't do that. No, I don't have that. And no explanation as to why, because you do not have to explain why you're a no. No is no. This is really, really great learning that we can have around boundaries and just accepting somebody's answers for what they are, because what we end up doing is we try to inquire around that stuff, don't we? And then we just start digging, and then that's what causes this, is because nobody wants confrontation. Nobody wants to really, have all this stuff to deal with. But ask yourself, am I being too selfless? Am I being a doormat? If you feel like you're a doormat, you're probably a doormat. Activate the word no into your life. Are you being selfish? All right. How are you being selfish? What's your definition of selfish? Listen back through this. Figure that one out. Because selfish, remember, airplane, mask. This is a selfish move. But in my selfishness, I'm also setting up safe boundaries, healthy boundaries. I'm also looking at making sure that I'm being fed enough so that I can also give maximum amount and not deplete myself. So I can be the best version of me in any given situation. So I can definitely have it here to give by actually saying no when I don't feel in alignment to it. Okay? And then there is the self-centeredness, which is where we are manipulating and we are trying to it's all about me, 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 but it's about at all cost me. So I will beg, borrow, steal, take, cross boundaries, lie, do all these different things to get what I want. And it's just about me getting this little thing, which keeps us very small. It does not allow us to grow. It does not share love. It is from a complete just hunger, scarcity mindset. When we're in that self-centeredness, it is true scarcity mode, because we don't believe that there is enough to go around, and we feel like we have to get it in these unhealthy ways, and that we can't just authentically be ourselves and stand in who we are and open up and receive. So look at where you're at on being open and receiving, that authenticity and open and receiving, or are you out there trying to just grab at every little thing and getting into that me, me, me mode in scarcity land? So yeah, I hear all these cars going up and down. Yeah, it's just crazy. So there you go. That's the topic of today. You're going to see the questions pop up in the comments section. So my iced coffee is dripping all over the place. Let me see. Announcements. I have so many freaking announcements. I don't really think I'm going to make a bunch of announcements on here. I'll quickly run through them. The one that I want to just focus in on, though, for Conscious Coffee is that I am doing micro consults until July 4th. Micro consults are a 30-minute phone consultation. Normally, I charge for my consultations. I am running a free promotion for consultations until July 4th. So if you have thought about hiring a coach, if you've thought about working with me, if this has been kind of like a roadblock for you, doing the consultation and everything, this is really your opportunity. I've simplified the form. There is a much simpler form, so you don't get the complex, in-depth form that has 50,000 questions on it. No, I'll just figure out all that stuff while talking to you. I can work with anybody easily and anywhere in the United States. I have clients all over the United States, all over Canada, down in South America, and over in Europe as well. So it really, there's no reason that you cannot work with me. I know that I have people that follow me all over the world. I'm just letting you know, I do work with people all over the world. So consults can either be done on the phone, or we can do Facebook Live here easily as well, because a lot of people are, you guys are following me. So obviously you have Facebook, right? And then after July 4th, a whole bunch of things are going to be changing on my website and my coaching programs. So just know that if you are interested in what is available right now, it will be changing things up into a whole new format. Everything's going to be changing. So if you like what is there right now, grab it while it's still there. Only a couple weeks left. You see other things that we have going on. Addison Bell and I are off to Punta Cana on the 24th of June. It's our girls trip. We try to hit the beach at least once a year for just a little girls trip and stuff. Normally we do it around our birthdays because our birthdays are a few weeks apart. But this year we're going a little bit early, and we're going to go off to the beach, get some sun and sand and all that good stuff. But while we are there, we are going to be teaching a workshop live stream. So anybody on Facebook, this is going to be really, really easy access for you because we're going to be doing a Facebook live stream, okay? So what it is called is Monetizing Badasses. We're going to be talking about passion, play, and profits. We're going to give you a whole bunch of stuff about how you can really tap into your passion, how passion and play, when we incorporate that, when we build that up and we really bring that out in us, in our life, that can lead to profits. So if you are a small business owner that follows me, if you're an entrepreneur, mompreneurs out there, I know I got a lot of you guys that follow me. I mean, mompreneur, love you guys. But what we are doing is this is just going to be a 3-day intensive workshop. We have a massive amount of downloads. We've got meditations, we've got journaling that we're going to be giving you. I mean, it is a ton of stuff. There's going to be a whole bunch of content plus daily live training. Day 1 is on passion. We are going to be talking all about passion. You're going to get some phenomenal training. We're going to tell you about how we have been through those moments when we were passionless and what that kind of did to us business-wise, creativity-wise, and how we learned how to get our passion back and how we learned how to tap in consistently. I know I get told all the time, oh my God, Kendal, you are so prolific. Like, you write an article almost every single day. I do. I put out 1,500 to 3,000 words almost every single day. New topic every single day. Those things are written in the moment. When I do Conscious Coffee as well, there's no planning to these, right? I am just like on the spot. You guys witness me. Anybody who's been following me over the last couple of years with Conscious Coffee, you know that I'm just like boom, 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 boom. There's no notes around here. I didn't walk out here knowing what I was going to talk about. I sat down, I sat here for a half a second, went, man, it's hot, turned on my fan, changed my coffee from hot to cold. Okay, what are we talking about? And I actually didn't know until I really hit the live stream button, and then I was like, oh, we're talking about this. Okay. Well, the way I do that and the way Addison does her Addison Unleashed and writes as much as she does is by tapping into our passion, tapping into our soul, and that's how we are prolific. That's how we get content built. That's how we do our workshops too. The reason why I consistently have new workshops going and new things going and always on the spot is because I have learned how to consistently tap into that space of passion, even when shit is going down in my world. Even when my house is full of kids, mine and my grandbabies too, and other people's too, and there's stress and there's all this different stuff, because you know what? Life continues. No matter what's going on for us, emotionally, mentally, creatively, life still continues, right? And as small business owners, entrepreneurs, it's up to us to keep our shit going. We have to stay in the hustle. We have to stay in the game. We have to stay in that creative flow. But sometimes we don't have that creative flow. That's when we lean out of our passion. So let us show you in day 1 how to tap consistently into that passion. Day 2 is all about one of my very favorite things. It's all about play. And we're going to be, on top of it, we're going to be teaching you from different spots in the Dominican Republic as well. So, you know, we're going to be going all over the place. You're going to get to see a little bit. If you haven't been to the DR before, we're going to be showing you new little things and everything. We'll probably be just touching base because we're going to hit each day with private videos as well. So you're going to actually end up with about 9 video trainings or more from this workshop. But day 2 is focused on play. And you know what? We live in a world where as adults are so stinking serious, right? Be responsible. Take care of this first. Serious, serious, serious. And you wonder, why is it that the people that are out there that are blowing and going and doing it and have all this creative energy and living these lives, right? Have you ever noticed that they're really playful? Have you ever noticed that there's constantly stuff going on? They're glowy, they're happy, they're turned on to life, they're playful. Well, the reason is because they know how to play. They can tap into that energy. It's not about going and literally getting into a sandbox, although that can be fun too. It's not about sitting down and playing with toys. It's not about, like even running around and just being goofy and stuff, although all of that can happen. Play is an energy. And that playful energy builds creativity. It builds openness. It allows people to actually feel, want to be around you. It's how you build your tribe. It's how you actually show yourself. Tapping into that gives you energy. It really is a current of just this beautiful food source for your business, for your health, for your life. And the majority of people have a tough time with play. I can tell you that from almost 17 years of coaching now, and one of the biggest things that I see people having a challenge with is the play thing. So we're going to talk to you about, we're going to teach on different ways to tap into that energy of play, different things that you can do to open up your play and everything. And then of course on day 3, what we all really want more of, profits. Well, profits are not just financial, right? Profits kind of come to us, and profits is kind of like I'm profiting in life in general. Like I have so much love, I have so much joy, I have so much abundance in whatever it is that you're looking for abundance in. Of course, the money flowing to us is a beautiful thing. We all want more money. Money gives us freedom to be able to go and do and have the things that we want. It gives us freedom to not stress. It just puts us into this beautiful space, right? And when we have enough money to support us, it also allows us to share more and to give more back as well. So we're going to be talking to you about profits, how you can monetize, which is why we're calling it Monetizing Badasses, how you can monetize anything very easily. Again, if you pay attention to the different things that I put out and everything, you're going to notice that there's always something going on. Well, that is, guess what? Every day I write about different things. I talk to you guys about different things. That's monetizing those moments in my life and bringing it in and back to what I do, which is coaching. So I'm constantly selling to everybody, right? But I'm selling through education. I'm selling through authenticity. I'm selling through just being me and allowing my day, my life to carry. It's called influencing. That's what we live in. We live in a world where influencers really make the biggest impacts. Us influencers out there, we are the new ministers. We are the new ministers of calling in a life of abundance, of joy, of really truly having it all. And when we do that, we profit from it in so many different ways. So Addison and I are going to be sharing with you some of the tips, tricks, and secrets that we have learned over the course of so much of our education and our ups and downs and learning. We're going to be teaching you how you can have more passion, really tap in, have more play, learn how to really let go and have fun, take those two things and profit from it and monetize all those things and really build that business that you want. So this, anybody can take this workshop because it's going to help you in so many different ways. Everybody needs to tap into passion more. Everybody needs to tap into play more. And I'm pretty sure that everybody around, most people are running some side hustle these days, right? Like everybody's in something. Well, I don't care if you're in MLM or if you are, a brick and mortar small business or a franchise or a fellow coach, practitioner. It doesn't matter what niche you even have or anything. What does matter is these 3 things, because if you don't have the passion to support it and you don't have the play to really bring your spirit open and let people experience you to build that tribe, then you're not going to have the profits. And Addison and I want to help you guys succeed in all of those ways so that you can completely live in a life of abundance and thrive in your business and in your life. So check out the link for the Monetizing Badass Bosses that is in the comments section. And Addison has kindly reminded me I was told her just yesterday, she was over and we were drinking this awesome spiced coconut rum drink. Oh my God. Ooh, I should add that in my coffee. Not really. Not going to start my day like that. But we were drinking that, just, chilling and working through workshop details and everything. And I told her that, last year I went to Jamaica and I did Ass in the Sand for entrepreneur training, and it was a 3-day event that I did as well. And I just taught on a whole bunch of business principles. So since that workshop is really very complimentary to Monetizing Badass Bosses, guess what? I have decided yesterday that we are giving away, this is, I think that I charged like $395 or something for the, I don't know. No, I don't know how much it's almost $400. I think it's almost $400 for this workshop that I did last year, and it is on my website for $395. Well, for anybody who signs up for Monetizing Badass Bosses, the first 10 people, I'm giving you ass in the sand as well. So you're going to get 2 fantastic entrepreneur trainings teaching you exactly how to get into alignment, how to tap into your passion, your play, and build those profits. I mean, talk about some serious ass kickery stuff for your business. I'm giving this away to the first 10 people who sign up for Monetizing Badass Bosses. So this is something that you really don't want to say no to, okay? So 10 of them I'm giving away, first 10. If you are an entrepreneur, a mompreneur, if you are a practitioner, a coach, small business person of any kind, somebody that's just running a side hustle, and you're like, hey, how do I get my business off the ground? How do I do this? If you can't afford to work with me personally, because I do run a 9-month, business entrepreneurship training that I work with people, but it's that you're definitely not going to get 9 months with me one-on-one for what this is. So go check it out. If it's like I said, first 10, you're getting an extra bonus of almost $400 for Ass in the Sand as well. So you're getting 2 intensive workshops for one. It's going to be fucking phenomenal. I can't wait to get to the island and stick our feet in the sand, drink a coconut with a little bit of rum in it, and get teaching you guys some absolutely amazing stuff. So let me see. Anything else? I think I'm going to just keep it at that. So yeah, sign up for the consults, guys. Check out the Monetizing Badasses. Grab those first 10 spots. When they're gone, they're gone. And I will catch you tomorrow with another Conscious Coffee. Love you guys.